Hello, my name is Michael Price. I'm a sales recruiter. I have been for 25 years. I'm here to talk to you about a senior sales role. I've used the term endpoint management. I think that's a bit simple really, but I've just put a classification there. They're a big vendor. So the company is a 270 million ARR business. They were set up 5 years ago. So in 5 years, they've gone from 0 to 270 million. They've got a massive tech stack. They've got massive clients. I've met some of the salespeople here. They're excellent. They have really good backgrounds. The sales leader, I've known that sales leader for a long time. She's one of the top 3 that I've ever met as long as I've ever done this job. It's a great place with great growth. There's loads of acquisitions. There's loads of room for growth. I'm going to come to a but in a minute. If you were to look at their product stack, which is very big, and put it into 3 silos, I think the 3 silos that you would go with is customer experience, data, and securing the environment. That's how I would put it. And they've got a mix of on-prem or on cloud. So the downside, there's always a downside to everything, is this company, in the client's own words, really is quite chaotic. And she said, listen, Mike, we've just grown unbelievably quickly through lots of acquisitions. So it's just not a well-oiled machine. The people that join us really will need to be able to be capable of standing on their own feet. All the resources there, all the support's there, but it's not laid out like a Salesforce, Oracle, Microsoft, where it's already on rails and all you need to do is turn up. Sorry to all the Salesforce, Oracle, Microsoft reps. I guess your job is a little harder than that. This role is a sales specialist market. There are 4 routes to market. Number 1 is each of the countries have client directors. Those client directors will look after particular accounts. They are one of your route to market because this is a product sales specialist focusing on securing the environment. The second is just to sell to existing accounts. They have grown so quickly that they do have accounts that really aren't managed particularly well currently. Thirdly, they've got a pretty strong partner network, so they'll be working with and selling through the partners. And then fourthly is some net new. Now, what's interesting here when I was talking to the client is, I said, if it was me, I'd just pick off the first 3 because salespeople, we're all lazy. We want an easy route to market. He said, yes, you can do that, and you probably will be doing a lot of that, and that will keep you busy. He said, but I really do want somebody who's comfortable in net new, because I find that when they're comfortable in net new, they sort of set a precedence for how they do the job itself. Target is 2.5 million. The accelerators are unbelievably outstanding. As a general rule, they tend to do quite well in regulated industries, so utilities, finance, consulting, that kind of thing. So what they're looking for is somebody who has some understanding of endpoint management. And this is what I was talking about when I used the word securing the environment, because I was talking to the client about how there's an overlap in the security market over different products, because the security products don't stand on their own. They are always integrated into or working with something else. So some understanding of endpoint management from somewhere. The person, you can't just be a sit and wait person. He said if you sit and wait, you'll probably get 70% of target, but this isn't a 70% target place. This really is a place where people really are earning massively over the odds. From a vertical perspective, just big commercial. They sell to big commercial. Obviously, if you knew finance or a regulated industry, that would help, but really just big commercial works. Package, 80 to 100k basic, double OTE. I've met 3 salespeople in the UK, none of which I'd met before, and their packages are similar. They're just absolutely smashing their number in this company. So I really think that double OTE really does mean double OTE. I've put in here a Simpsons reference, which I like the Simpsons, and Homer Simpson works in Sector 7G. And what I mean by that is if you work for a big commercial business currently, you're probably working in a particular vertical and a particular patch, and you stay in your lane. And that's fine because you know what your job is on a day-to-day basis. This isn't that. Currently, this is quite disorganised by the way that they've grown. And what's going to happen is people are going to join this company. They're going to create a brilliant patch for themselves. And then the people that my client hires subsequent to that will get the second best patch and the third best patch and the fourth best patch. And then in the end, somebody will get Sector 7G. And if you're involved in IT sales, at some point you will have been stuck in a place through no fault of your own where actually where you were stuck were actually hindered and hampered your ability to sell. That doesn't exist here. My contact details are on the screen, also the email address of my colleague Jo. It's unlikely I'll speak to her, but I have included her email address anyway. Thank you. I'll hopefully speak to you soon.